What's up, everybody? I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA. If you've watched any of my videos recently, you've heard me talk about this thing that I call crossover culture, which is basically the term that I am using to describe this new thing where it's like metal and hip-hop and graffiti and skateboarding and streetwear just all kind of smashed into this one big thing, right? The part I wanted to talk about in this video is basically the idea that I kind of put out there before, which is that rap is the new hardcore. Rap is the new metal. The most recent example of this is about a rapper named Shakewell, who's kind of part of this like Fat Nick, Puya, whatever kind of scene that I'm into. And I found out he was in the band Betrayal, which just totally blew my mind because that's a pretty deep cut. Like Betrayal is I actually don't know if they're still around, but Betrayal was a metalcore band from like the LA area on Media Scare Records that I remember hearing a few years ago. They were good. Found out about this when I was watching Ham Radio, which is a podcast and YouTube show by the guys that do Ham on Everything, which is like a party in LA. They had Shakewell on, just kind of shooting the shit, whatever. He started talking about like volumes and Mizery and stuff like that. Brought out Cayle from Twitching Tongues and Mizery, who I guess is his friend and has been playing drums for Ghostmane on the tour that he was doing with Code Orange and Twitching Tongues and Vane and all that stuff. So it's just like, okay, this is fucking exactly what I'm talking about. There's like this newer rapper who's doing something cool, and lo and behold, of course he was in a fucking hardcore band. Like by now, I just I expect it. Like it's not even, I guess it still surprises me every time, but it really shouldn't. Like I should just assume now that every new rapper, of course, grew up on hardcore. I also got to give credit to a friend of mine who made me aware of Shakewell and is himself an awesome example of this. Michael Montoya from Winds of Plague. He used to be in the band Goliath. If any of you guys are like West Coast hardcore guys, deathcore, whatever, he used to be in the band Goliath. He's been playing guitar in Winds of Plague for a couple years, but he has also been a hip-hop producer for years. He's worked with like Lil Xan and Bones, a bunch of other, I think he might have done something with Ski Mask, the Slump God, but don't quote me on that because I might be wrong. But the point is, Michael has been like in like metal, deathcore, hardcore, whatever bands for years. He has also been a hip-hop producer for years, and I thought he was crazy like years ago. He's been doing this since maybe 2010 or something, and it's just like, you gotta pick one, dude. Like that's like, what are you thinking? You can't be a hip-hop producer and play in these metal bands. Well, Michael was right, I was fucking wrong. And by the way, if you've seen these pictures of Lil Xan wearing like Vane and Winds of Plague shirts, well, Michael is the guy to thank for that, or hate for it, depending on who you are. But yeah, I mean, that is exactly what I'm talking about. Like basically the people who are doing cool, fresh, new things in rap come from our world. They come from like hardcore and metal and punk and skateboarding and all that. Like it's no longer two separate things. It is one thing. That is what I'm talking about here. That's what you need to understand. So why do you need to understand this? Why should you care? I know a lot of you guys want to work in music. Like maybe you want to be like a music writer, music photographer, maybe you're in a band, something like that. If you want to work in music in any capacity, you definitely need to understand this, because like honestly, a lot of rock people are stuck in the past. There's this weird thing about rock where they like elevate anything old to like God status. They think that just because something is old that it has to be great. And this is true of other genres too. I mean, you know, rap, they do this too, but not nearly as much as rock. Rock people have an unfortunate tendency to be stuck in the past. Look, rock is not growing anytime soon. Like hip hop culture is the future of like youth rebellion. Like you've heard Anthony Fantano talk about this. I've talked about it. Like he put it perfectly. Like the voice of their rebellion is not Minor Threat. I mean, I love Minor Threat, but the voice of their rebellion is not Minor Threat. It's Lil Pump. That's just reality, and that is even more true when it comes to this like underground hip-hop stuff that I'm talking about. So if you want to work in music and you're one of these rock people that's like digging your heels, you don't like the fact that rock is on the decline and rap is like taking over the world, I don't know what to tell you, man. You better get used to it, because this is not going to go away anytime soon. So if you're still operating under that dated old school pattern of like us versus them, or like we're the rock guys and we don't like this and this and this and this and this, like you got to stop that. Like it's getting you nowhere. All you are doing is making yourself irrelevant. You don't have to like everything that comes along. I don't like everything either, but you need to at least understand that that is the way that culture is going. So don't be that guy. Don't get stuck in the past. Don't dig in your heels. Embrace the change, my friends. That is the message I want to send to you. All right, I'm going to let you go, but again, I'm Finn McKenty. This is the Punk Rock MBA. If you found this interesting or helpful, if you liked it, whatever, I would love it if you would help me spread the word a little bit. So please subscribe subscribe to the channel. That's the #1 thing I would like you to do. Or if you don't want to do that, or if you're already subscribed, at least, you know, you could like the video, leave a comment, tell a friend about it, whatever you can do to help spread the word would be much appreciated. And with that, I'm going to sign off, but I will see you next time.